about Caitlin Clark today. Shout out to off-season Caitlin Clark sources. Off-season Caitlin Clark sources be having the sources. They stated Caitlin Clark profile headshot has been updated on Team USA. So this is the new and improved looking Caitlin Clark. Now, as y'all can see here from this picture, judging by her shoulders, she lost a lot of weight. But this is the Caitlin we want to see. See, this is the Caitlin that shoot logo threes. And judging off the footage that came out this weekend, there was a lot of logo threes.
For nearly a year, one question has hovered over women's basketball like a storm cloud. What does Team USA really think of Caitlin Clark? Is she the future of the national program, or simply a moment the league rode for headlines? This week, without a press release, without a podium, without a single official announcement, Team USA quietly made the most important Caitlin Clark decision yet. And if you know where to look, the answer has been hiding in plain sight.
We don't have any updates on the CBA negotiations. From my understanding, they put forth another proposal for the WNBA players and the owners, but the players did not accept the new proposal. Now, we know January 6th was that 6-week timeline that we got before we either see another extension or another shutdown. Now, with that being said, I'm here to tell you, if we do not have a CBA signed by March or April, we gonna be in trouble. We gonna be in some serious trouble with the WNBA coming back for the 2026 season.
This isn't just about one player. Caitlin Clark became the face of a WNBA resurgence in 2024, breaking records, driving ratings, and pulling casual fans into the sport. But Team USA decisions are never emotional. They are calculated, strategic, and brutally honest about who fits into the future. And that future isn't next season. It's 2028.
Off-season did was updated this. This is Caitlin Clark professional notes. Instead of in her rookie season with the Fever, Caitlin Clark set league single season record of 337 and single game records of 19 and assists, broke the rookie scoring record of 769 points, and became the first rookie to achieve a triple-double. She was named the 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year, the third Fever player to earn the honor. Additionally, was the only rookie selected in all WNBA first team, becoming the first rookie since 2009 and only the 5th overall to ever name the league's first team, drafted number 1 overall by the Indiana Fever in 2024. Shout out to Kate.
The first sign came quietly. Caitlin Clark's official Team USA profile was updated. New photo, new bio, new professional notes. To casual fans, it meant nothing. To national team watchers, it meant everything. Because Team USA does not update profiles for players they're unsure about. The visual change was obvious. This wasn't mid-season Caitlin, dragged through a 40-game WNBA grind. This was Caitlin at natural playing weight. Faster. Leaner. Reset. This was Caitlin at natural playing weight. Faster. Leaner. Reset.
Come in for the first time was probably the most noteworthy aspect of USA camp in Raleigh this past weekend.
And obviously, nationally, there was a lot of interest with Caitlin Clark, and obviously, locally, we're Indy Star here. A lot of interest in Caitlin Clark returning. Just what did you see from her play? You know, did she impress? I know Cara Lawson talked highly of her, Sue Bird as well. Just like, what did you see from Caitlin in USA camp being healthy?
Still there. That was one of my leads. Was just that shot of hers that we're also familiar with, very much still there. Her speed was coming.
Then came Raleigh. For the first time since her playoff eardrum injury, Caitlin Clark was back on the court with Team USA. According to Chloe Peterson of the Indianapolis Star, the first WNBA reporter granted direct access, 3 things stood out immediately. First, the shot was back. Logo threes. Deep range. No hesitation. Second, the speed was returning. That matters, because Caitlin's passing lanes only exist when defenders are forced to respect her first step. And third, she admitted it herself. She's physically 100%. But the rust is real.
Now, something else we're going to talk about is Annie Constable being the first reporter to do a sit-down interview and talk about what she's seen when she was granted access to see Caitlin Clark. We're going to talk about that shortly. Now, something else.
Then came Raleigh. For the first time since her playoff eardrum injury, Caitlin Clark was back on the court with Team USA. According to Chloe Peterson of the Indianapolis Star, the first WNBA reporter granted direct access, 3 things stood out immediately. First, the shot was back. Logo threes. Deep range. No hesitation. Second, the speed was returning. That matters, because Caitlin's passing lanes only exist when defenders are forced to respect her first step. And third, she admitted it herself. She's physically 100%. But the rust is real.
At all. I saw someone ask me like, oh, who's standing out and who looks like someone that's going to get cut. And it's just, that's not the purpose of this camp. You know, this is not a camp that's like, oh, hey, you're no longer going to be in the pool after this one camp, you know? So I think, yeah, those were some of my takeaways.
Is that your only question, Chloe?
Yeah. You have a question?
Shit.
So that was Annie Constable, man. You guys can check out the full interview on the Indy Star YouTube channel. Get down in the comment section. Let me know y'all thoughts about that one. Keep them bells on, and we will be back with some more Caitlin Clark content. And like always, man, until next time, shake the haters off. I'm out of here, baby. Peace out.
When Caitlin matched up with Paige Buchers, the dynamic shifted entirely. This was never about who's better. Team USA already knows both are elite. This was about coexistence, spacing, tempo, complementary skill sets. Because the national team isn't cutting stars. They're building lineups. And what Team USA is evaluating right now isn't Caitlin Clark versus anyone. It's Caitlin Clark with the next generation.
Caitlin Clark content. So it looked like Team USA wraps up the weekend with a lot of footage coming out. Now, the numbers, I was very interested to see how everybody was going to take the Caitlin Clark returning back to the basketball court. And I'm about 50-50 sold on the algorithm being right where it need to be. The first day, we seen numbers go up and down. Second day, numbers go up and down. Third day, they kind of plummet, which means to tell me a lot of people still are interested, but there is also a lot of people that ain't interested in Caitlin Clark or the women's.
This was not a tryout. This was not a make-or-break moment. Reporters like Annie Costabile made this clear. No one was being cut. No roster decisions were final. This camp was about chemistry, recovery evaluation, and long-term projection. And Caitlin Clark checked the most important box of all. Availability. But while Team USA was evaluating basketball, the algorithm was evaluating interest. Day 1 of camp, viewership spiked. Day 2, curiosity faded. Day 3, numbers dropped hard. Even a 2-hour exclusive interview with direct Team USA access struggled to break 4 figures. Meanwhile, a 30-second Logo 3 clip pulls hundreds of thousands. This isn't a Caitlin Clark problem. It's a league sustainability problem. Now add the most dangerous variable of all, the CBA. As of now, negotiations remain unresolved. January 6th marked a critical deadline. If this drags into March or April, the 2026 WNBA season could be in real danger. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The WNBA does not have the luxury of losing momentum right now. A lockout wouldn't pause growth. It would erase it. Team USA didn't announce its decision. They demonstrated it. Updated profile. Full participation. Continued evaluation alongside future core players. Caitlin Clark isn't being sidelined. She's being integrated. Not as a marketing tool, but as a long-term piece of the national program. Caitlin Clark is still great. The question isn't her talent. It's timing. Can the WNBA convert a cultural moment into a foundation? Can Team USA bridge generations without losing chemistry? And if a lockout comes, will the audience still be there when basketball returns? That answer may matter more than any roster decision. 4 months, women's basketball fans have been circling the same unanswered question. What does Team USA really think of Caitlin Clark? Not the highlight clips, not the social media buzz, not the marketing headlines, but the people who actually decide Olympic futures. This week, Team USA didn't call a press conference. They didn't release a statement. They didn't need to, because the decision everyone was waiting for was made quietly, and if you know how national teams operate, the signs were impossible to miss. Her arrival didn't just change box scores, it changed viewership patterns. So when Clark suffered an eardrum injury during the playoffs and disappeared from the spotlight, the next question became unavoidable. Would Team USA see her as a long-term cornerstone, or just a moment that passed? The first answer didn't come from a coach. It came from a website. Clark's official Team USA profile was updated, new headshot, updated professional notes, and a noticeably different physical look. To casual fans, it looked like nothing. To insiders, it was a green light. National programs do not refresh bios and imagery for players they're unsure about. Those updates are reserved for athletes being actively tracked and projected forward. The visual change was striking. Clark appeared leaner, lighter, and more fluid, clearly no longer carrying the physical toll of a 40-game season plus playoffs. This wasn't a downgrade. At Team USA camp in Raleigh, Caitlin Clark returned to the court for the first time since her injury. According to Indianapolis Star reporter Chloe Peterson, the first WNBA reporter granted access to observe Clark at national team practice, three things stood out immediately. First, the shot. The deep range was still there. The logo threes were still falling. The confidence hadn't faded. Second, the speed. Clark's explosiveness off the dribble was returning, and that matters more than any single stat. Her passing game only works when defenders are forced to overreact to her drive. Third, honesty. Clark openly acknowledged that while she is physically 100%, there is still rust to shake off. Timing, rhythm, defensive reads. That kind of transparency matters at the national level. It was a reset. Defense has always been the uncomfortable part of the Caitlin Clark discussion. And at Team USA camp, that conversation didn't disappear. When Clark matched up against elite guards like Kelsey Plum, the gap showed, especially with rust still present from time away. This wasn't a revelation. It wasn't a scandal. It was confirmation of what coaches already knew. But here's where the narrative shifts. When Clark shared the floor with Paige Buchers, the evaluation stopped being about individual weaknesses and started being about chemistry. This was never Clark versus Buchers. It was Clark with Buchers. Team USA isn't building rosters around single stars anymore. They're building ecosystems, spacing, tempo, complementary skill sets that translate to international play. And what became clear in Raleigh was this. Team USA isn't deciding whether Caitlin Clark belongs. They're deciding how she fits. Even long-form interviews with exclusive Team USA access struggled to gain traction. Meanwhile, short highlight clips of Clark hitting logo threes exploded across social media. The message was clear. Fans will watch Caitlin Clark play. They will consume highlights and controversy. But sustained, in-depth engagement remains fragile. This isn't a Clark problem. It's a league problem. All of this is happening under the shadow of unresolved CBA negotiations. As of now, the WNBA and its players remain at odds, with deadlines already missed and extensions uncertain. If negotiations drag into March or April, the 2026 season could be in serious jeopardy. And the WNBA does not have the cushion of an entrenched fan base that can withstand a full shutdown. Momentum is already slipping. A lockout wouldn't pause growth, it would erase it. Team USA didn't announce their Caitlin Clark decision. They demonstrated it. They updated her profile. They evaluated her alongside future core players. They kept her fully integrated into long-term planning. Caitlin Clark is not being sidelined. She is being positioned. Not as a marketing symbol, but as a developing piece of the national program's future.